Welcome back to VICTUALS Radio, only on the RipRadioNetwork.com. And with me is AD.
AD, too bad TT can't be here tonight.
Yes.
Tiara's not here again.
For the spring season finale. Of all places, she needs to get sick is on spring
But
finale.
you know what, Brian? We going to hold her up.
Okay.
We got her back.
We got her back. Well, speaking of which, who we got back is, she's a really good friend of mine. I've known her for a little bit of while. She is a talented singer. She's a great actress. And if you lived in the DMV area, you probably seen her cheering for you and your Washington Redskins for the early 2000s. Miss Shaunté Usual, are you there, lovely lady?
Hi.
There we go. Oh, turn down your speaker a little bit, Shaunté.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, the video speaker.
How do you do that?
There we go.
All right.
There we go. I hear you. There
Yes.
There we go.
Got it.
Hi, Shaunté. It is for me. It's been a minute, but how you doing?
I'm good. Been really busy, but busy's great. But I'm good. How are you?
I've been doing good. So, AD, well, first off, let's let everyone.
Hi, AD.
Oh my God! Hey, Shaunté, I'm so excited about today. I've been listening to your album and catching up on your music and your videos and reading about you, and I was so excited until I read that you used to be a Redskin cheerleader.
I knew that was coming.
You know, I'm from Arkansas. I'm a big Cowboy fan, but it's okay. But
Of all teams, you're a direct rival.
I'm from Arkansas. Come on. But you know what?
Yeah.
But back to the music. I am so excited. I was listening to it today, and I was looking at your video. I was like, okay, this girl, she can sing and she got some moves. I was so excited. It was the blackout video where you did like your dance and everything, the expressive dance you were doing.
Yeah.
You were jamming.
Yeah.
I liked it. Enjoyed it.
There's a lot of rehearsals, long rehearsals, with my choreographer, Regan Haynes.
Okay.
But the vision behind that, I just wanted to kind of catch myself, just, I guess, lyrically dancing to the song, to the vibe. Kind of like there was a camera there, but I didn't know the camera was there.
That's cool. Now, Shaunté, like I said, I've known you for a while, but let the people know about your story, because you pretty much, when you were with the Washington Redskins, wasn't your main thing just, rah-rah cheering for the burgundy and gold, but you were able to get your talent. Say again?
I said rah-rah.
Yeah, rah-rah. Yeah, but you were,
it is now?
Yeah. Hey, you know how it is right now in the DC area with this team. But anyway, what gave you the opportunity to be able to be part of, you said, the U.S. Group, and got your chance to feature your talent on the team?
It's
kind of hard to hear you.
He's speaking about when you traveled, when you traveled with the USO, you went overseas with the soldiers.
Yes, how you were able to promote your talent initially when you were with the Washington Redskins?
Well, making the team, first of all, it was a great experience. I'm always grateful for the fact that I was even brought onto the team. When you first try out and make the team, there's usually about 40 girls is your team. And then there's a separate tryout, which is for your tour team, your variety show, which is like a 90-minute show. And you audition. We all dance, obviously, but if you have an additional talent, then that's the one that you usually showcase during that audition. So I made the team, and then I also auditioned for a tour team and made that team, in which my talent was singing. On that tour, 90 minutes, they gave me 2 segments in which I was able to then sing, which showcased my vocal ability and my talent. But it was actually on tour that I was able to kind of lock in, not necessarily my sound because I was doing covers, but just more practicing the stage performance, being able to work different crowds, different stage sizes, having to change clothes really fast. All of that came into play and, helped today. So the USO and the DOD, that was directly with the Redskins because they brought the cheerleaders over to support the troops.
Okay.
Hey, I want to say shout out to the troops. I was over there in Iraq when the Redskin cheerleaders came over there.
Oh, okay.
And so it definitely was, it uplifted everyone. Yeah, so I really do appreciate that.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you. Are you military?
I'm prior military. I served 7 years in the Army.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was in
Army,
Iraq.
nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I really do appreciate that. Like, you don't know, all those people who reach out to the troops who come over there, it means a lot to us when they do that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. That means, trust me, that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
It's good to know that you really did build the morale.
Oh, that's cool. Now, with your experience from the Redskins and especially performing for a live audience and things like that, let's transition to when you moved out of the DC area and head over to LA. When did you, at that moment in time, you felt like, okay, this is where I'm going to be needing to hone your craft?
It was interesting because I'd always be on the field, as you say, rah rah, sis boom bye. And when I was out there, you do yell, but I mean it's like 90,000 fans or something crazy. So there's only but so many people really hearing you, but you're still yelling, And I would always kind of be like, God, this is hurting my voice because I also sung. So I'd always be like, had that in the back of my head, like, how long do I want to do this if I really want to do music?
Right.
This is kind of not exactly the best vocal health, even though I enjoy it and it's live performance and, love the fans. But that was always kind of in my head. And then I ventured off into acting as well. And I remember I was doing a play, actually it was a musical, and the opportunity came for me to go to LA. And I knew in my heart, but I also knew in my spirit that, okay, it's time for me to go to do that. And so, I have some background, to go and do that. And so the opportunity opened up, I always say with purpose comes provision, and God aligned it timing-wise that I transitioned from doing the musical to transitioning to LA. But to answer your question, I just knew in my spirit that it was time, and when he provided the opportunity, I went ahead and took the opportunity.
So, Shaunté, I know I watched an interview with you speaking about your faith and, your trust in God. And me visiting L.A. this past Christmas, my first time, I realized that's a tough city and it's very expensive. I thought D.C. was expensive, but I have a friend there who lives there in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. He pays $5,000 a month for an apartment. And so you definitely have to.
Right, 3,000 to 5,000.
Yeah, you have to have faith. You got to have faith moving out there. I'm like,
faith in your wallet.
Yes, and come on, God. You got to believe in something if you're moving out there. Yes. So, in that interview, I saw that you're a woman of faith, and listening to you today, I can definitely see it and hear it, and I think that's amazing. You got to have that when you're stepping out there like that.
You have to, yes. It is expensive. I did not know that moving. But that's why I say you definitely should move when you have provision, when you know and it's in timing, when you're supposed to move, because God literally provided every step of the way. I've never lacked. And in those moments where it felt like, okay, how am I going to get out of this? God always still provided. Like it might have been the last hour, and I'm like, Lord, and it came through. So, yes.
Yes. Well, speaking of faith, this album, since I've known you, it's been taking you a long time to make this album, and I know you went through a lot of ups and downs making it. So tell us, the whole process of you making Tux.
Oh my God, the process. This is probably 4 rewrites before I got to the final release of all of it, and then when it was finalized, it still took me about a year and a half maybe to finally release it. it's just the industry. You deal with different producers, you deal with different situations, and then writing, when it came down to, before I had the final lineup of the 10 songs with the bonus track, I didn't feel settled with the choices, the actual song selections. And I was like, something's missing. And I remember, playing it to my producer, and I were listening to it, and we let a couple people hear it. And it was just like missing something. And within a month, I rewrote half the album.
Oh,
so
wow.
even though it took a period of time to get to that, the actual, what you hear on the album, I wrote probably within, I would say, a month. It was, 3.5 weeks.
Dang. That's a lot.
But it was,
Yeah.
yeah, I was in a mode, and it was just, but that's timing. I don't regret any of the timing of it. I don't think, had I written those prior, I even would have had that ending. Now, certain songs were written prior to, like Sirens. I had written, I want to say maybe 2009, maybe 2008, something like that. And I had different, songs or different pieces of them. But in terms of the collection of the album, that was about 4 weeks of 3.5 weeks of just writing.
Damn.
So Shaunté, I also read that you enjoy writing about love, and so was this a lot of your music doing this album? A lot of stuff you had gone through or that you were dealing with. I know a lot of artists write about what they're going through.
Yeah, I do like to write from a truthful place, whether it's my experience or someone else's experience. A little side note, I remember when I first started writing and I was writing with other artists, this is probably the one time I walked in and I was like, you know what, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. I got called in to write with this one artist, and I pull up, I go inside, and I plop on the couch, and I'm like, okay, I got my pen and pad ready. And she's like, okay. And I'm looking, waiting for her to tell me her story, her experience.
Right.
But she just wanted me to write a banger. And then it was in that moment I was like, man, people just want radio hits. No one wants to really tell a story.
Right.
And I from that time where, you tell stories where it moves you, and so that kind of turned me off. But for me writing, it's from a truthful place. If I'm writing someone else's story, it's their truth. And then I like the music to mesh with, the feeling of the lyrical choices that I choose. It's all, I look at it as like theatrical, like a movie in my head. And that's how I feel kind of when you listen to a score. And I just kind of write from a free place of truth. With the experiences and what that feels like. So what heartache might feel like, what loneliness might feel like, what being in love and happy might feel like. All those have different tones and resonate different, I want to say, elements in the atmosphere. So musically, I like to bring that all, collectively to create the song. Right. But it's all coming from a place of truth.
So, speaking of songs, now, and you just mentioned you're the theatrical. Okay, I've told you this before. Pretty much, I love Blackout when it came out. I like Phoenix, which we'll be playing that video after the interview. But the two songs that really hit me was Can We, which is I told you this.
That's my favorite.
It is like
I love Can We.
This needs to be the #1 R&B hit or pop hit anywhere, because once I heard the first time when she put it out, I was like, holy crap, this is a hit. And then this other single was, when you mentioned about theatricals, is the theatrical remix to Sirens. And she has both versions. She has the original version, but the theatrical one is what really got me. And I told her this a while back. That's like, if you can remix it to a dance house music theme, I mean, trust me,
that thing will go off.
Yeah, that will definitely go off. I mean, we got DJs here for Rip Radio that comes in.
Really?
It's like, yes, they will. If you're able to do a remix, trust me, I will let them know. And it's like, hey, you need to put this in your mix, man, because if you can remix it to a house mix, trust me, I think a lot of people will be dancing to it. Trust and Believe, Sirens.
Good to know. Okay. I'm down for it.
So
I'm not opposed to it. I actually love EDM, so, you know, hey,
there we go.
that might work.
So now, a lot of people keep asking you probably this typical question of, is like, what's your favorite song? So I'm going to ask it, but with a little mild twist. What's your favorite song? The one song on the album that you feel that is like, I will play this to death if I was not Shaunté Usual. Let's say this. If you're not Shaunté Usual singer, if this is like the first time you heard this album and you're enjoying it, and what's that one song you felt like, I will keep it on replay until the day I die?
Oh, God. You know, that's hard for me because
See, I knew it.
intentionally wrote the album for it to not have any fluff. I intentionally wrote it so that every song I loved and every song I enjoyed, and it wasn't just like a stocking stuffer. Like, I wanted it to be a legit, I love this song from beginning to end. Even the interludes, I wanted it to be that way. Everything had a purpose. But you're pulling my arm. To make me sing? Oh, wow.
They're all my babies. I can't sing.
Well, look, while you think
Yeah,
of,
that's
look,
like, what kid don't you like? I birthed them all. I don't know.
but you know what? Look, while you think about it, I want to say, Can We is my favorite, but one phrase that stood out from Blackout was, I'll wear this mask, but at times it fails. And I was thinking about that. And in our walk in life, in general, so many people wear masks. And, you know, and I go to work and, you know, you don't know what people are going through. And I really, like, related to that song.
Right. Mind you, I'm not going to put any words in for you, Shaunté, but like the first single I ever heard her that I was able to hear her play was I Wonder Why. And that song, even though it's not on the album, but you can be able to still hear it on iTunes and other audio places.
I gotta write that down.
Yes, it is. It's a nice song to where it puts you at ease. It makes you think, and that's the one thing I like about Shaunté's music is it makes you think. There's things that makes you think, and I think a lot of music today don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
and it's nice and refreshing to hear various artists. You know, hopefully, you know, Shaunté with, you know the stuff that she writes. You know, you get a chance to hear people's like, oh, it makes you think. It makes you wonder what's going on in this world or what's going on in your life. And I believe that also in addition to her spirituality, her faith, you know, because I think that's what helps a lot of people with music is it helps you make you think. It helps you make you realize what things are. So again, am I wrong, Shaunté? Since this is your interview.
You know, that is beautiful to hear you guys to say what your experience so far with the music, you know, has been, and, you know, your certain songs that you like. That's beautiful. You don't know how much that means to me. So first of all, thank you for supporting it, and thank you for enjoying it and speaking about it. Yes, that was the intent, and just being truthful with the lyrics was that, you know, it would make somebody think, but more so feel. And I think when you're able to feel something, it resonates a little bit more than just words, which is why the music element was so specific for me. The music, it couldn't just be anything. Like, the music had to flow. It had to. It's kind of like when you're in praise and worship, you know, when you go to church or whatever, and it's like, ooh, did the Holy Spirit just drop in? There's a feeling like something happened, right? It's different than just hearing, you know, there's music that makes you groove and makes you have fun, and there's music that penetrates, and there's lyrics that penetrate. And that was where I wanted to be with it. That was the vein I was in. So to hear you say that it impacted and affected you in that way really, really means a lot. So thank you.
Great. So how can more people get impacted with your music? Tell us where people can find you and where they can listen to Tux.
My website, ShauntéUsual.com. You can go, my Instagram is @ShauntéUsual. Everything is my name, so it's really simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, Facebook's Shaunté Usual. And then, you know, if you search on any media platform, music media platform, it would be under my name as well.
Okay.
So it's Spotify, it's on Tidal, it's on Apple Music, iTunes, SoundCloud. It's pretty much everywhere.
All right. Cool. Shaunté, thank you again for coming on to Fashion Victuals. Again, it has been a pleasure listening to your music.
Yes.
You know, it's been,
Thank
like
you.
I said, I've known you for a while. I know you've been talking about doing this album, and it was worth the wait. Trust me. I trust and believe it is worth the wait if you're a true fan of Shaunté, and it is very enjoyable music. And I got no more words for it except awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope I'll be able to get over there and do some shows that way.
Oh, yes. Come back
Yes,
here. Come to the DC, and maybe we'll come live on Rip Radio, and we can chat some more. So.
And Tiara said thank you so much. She's
love
sorry she
to.
couldn't be here. Tiara is so sorry she couldn't be here, but she said thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. Yeah, I'll have to drop in and like maybe do a radio performance or something for you guys.
Hey, we can do that. We got.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we got the room.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we got the room. All right, Shaunté. Thank you again.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.